Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Underhood Show presented by Mel Hamilton Ford. My name's Phil Nightingale and Josh Profit. Morning, Josh.
Good morning.
Hanging out here, and this is a call-in show. 316-462-3673. That number to the front desk, and anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, whatever it might be. That's what this show's about. But you know what? I think we got to talk a little bit about Salt City last night and what happened and stuff there, too. So we can take your questions on that if you want to. Morning, Jeremy. And stuff too. So we put Salt City live up there too because talk about everything that happened last night. We tried, but Mother Nature prevailed. So got any questions, comments about Salt City last night? I'd love to talk to you about that too. A lot of stuff happened in the racing world this week. We can talk about that too if you want. Anyway, as always, every caller that calls in gets a great price package, about over $130 for each and every one. Again, this show is about your car, what's ailing it or whatever. But again, we talk about anything in the automobile world, right, Josh?
That is.
Sometimes we get a little carried away too. So whatever you want to talk about or questions or whatever, we'd love to hear from you. And we'll update you on Salt City, kind of where we're at there too. So 316-462-3673, number to dive in on the front desk. Tell the girls you want to get patched in the podcast. They'll get you patched in here. You know, answer your question or whatever it might be. So good morning, Delbert. How you doing, buddy? So Josh, as always, I have to challenge Nick every time he's on.
Yeah.
He's finally getting it down pretty good what's in the package. So what's in that package for each and every caller?
You know, here's the thing.
Yeah.
If you're the guy telling what's in the package, you can kind of make it up, whatever, just as long as you send it out, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah. So we've got a package that we give away to each and every caller that calls up and talks with us, but it's going to consist of the works, which is an oil change and tire rotation. We use Motorcraft oil and filter products here at Mel Hamilton Ford. While we're completing that, we're going to complete a multi-point inspection on the vehicle, checking over all the brakes, tires, steering, suspension, all the safety-related stuff on the vehicle, making sure that it's ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving. You'll also receive yourself $10 to Mel's Diner, so you can get yourself something to eat and drink while you're here with us at the big corner. Complete nitrogen for your tires, so you get all the great benefits that nitrogen has to offer. And then a BG products package, which consists of a can of MOA or motor oil additive for your engine oil, and then a can of 44K for your fuel system. Again, just getting that vehicle geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving.
All right, 316-462-3673, number there at the bottom of the screen. Give us a jingle. We'll love to hear from you. Delbert says it's hot down there in Oklahoma. It was hot here till about 7 o'clock last night.
Yeah.
Need an oil change. Now, Delbert, you're going to drive up here and let us do that? Surely you're not going to let somebody down there change it, are you, Delbert? I wouldn't want you to. Maybe you will. I don't know. So we'll have to see. So anyway, I guess let's dive into it, Josh. We had an exciting night last night at Salt City. We were going in for our points championship race, and we knew the weather all of a sudden changed on us. We were over there all day yesterday afternoon sweating.
Yeah.
Getting ready to put that show on and get going, and then all of a sudden we looked up, and then all of a sudden here comes some weather. So we tried. We tried to put it on. If it wasn't, and I tell you, there at the end, we called it, and then it kind of stopped raining. It kind of cleared up a little bit, and I thought, oh, no, did we really make the right decision?
Yeah.
And then it started raining again. So, Josh, I knew we made the right call. So I apologize, everybody. We couldn't get that race in. What I will tell everybody that is listening, whatever, on the situation is we are refunding everybody's money. We will get that all back out to you Monday from that part. I do not want to hang on to your money from that part, and I won't. So we will be refunding all that stuff. Hopefully by Monday afternoon, it should be all credited back and that sort of thing too. We're not going to charge you for that part. Pit Pass is the same way. We will not charge your card for that. I do not want to do that to you from that part. Some people came up and asked if they could hold the ban till October the 5th. I just want to clear it out.
Yeah, start over
For October 5th, the next race, and it makes sure so it's clean and everything else too. And I will say, Josh, everybody that came up to talk to me after we called it was great, congenial, and understood and got it.
Sure.
There was just a couple guys that were a little disgruntled. I'm not going to please everybody. And like I told all those couple guys, this is a hard decision to make. It wasn't easy, but I do believe even this morning after I woke up, we still made the right call and did what we needed to do. Because the problem is it started raining again, and that's why I took off again about, I don't know, what was it, probably 8.
Yeah, it was probably pretty close to 7:45, 8 o'clock.
And it started raining again. So if we would have started packing the thing in, we just lost everything we would have had. Plus, then the next thing is, time we get it packed in, get it going, we'd be bumping up on a pretty late time and everything else too. So we called it. We made the right call. I do want everybody to know we cannot make that race up The points for IMCA is over on next Sunday. There's just no way to get that race in and put that there. So the points champions are there. We didn't really get to crown them. We'll crown them November the 16th at the 1861 Club when we have the awards banquet. So we'll have more details coming up on that. Stay tuned Wednesday at 6 o'clock. We'll try to get more updates on that. We're also got a couple more minor changes to the October 5th race. There was some talk about maybe trying to alter the October 5th race. And Nick and I said, no, we're going to keep the plan and execute exactly what we're going to do on October the 5th. Got some funny timeline up here.
You're getting voluntold for a job.
Okay, Delbert. Time has been on my side, but looking to come up next Friday for the works and hopefully get the PTF. Okay, yeah, we got to get that fixed. So let us know, Delbert, if you can show up here and make it happen. Jeremy Kane, it's balmy 50 degrees here in Iowa, cutting corn. Then beans finish up with Milo. I need a combine operator, Phil. Well, that's okay, buddy. I can operate that thing, but that ain't going to happen. Yeah, it doesn't have a fast motor, is what Delbert wants to know. I don't think it's a very fast motor, but I think that thing's got a lot of torque, probably is what I'm going to bet.
There's a lot of things spinning at a lot of RPMs, for sure.
So anyway, once again, everybody that showed up, everybody that came, racers, I apologize to you from Mother Nature. I appreciate everyone that took the effort to get there yesterday. We had a great car count of 60 cars sitting there, which is great. That's always my number that I've been wanting this year for that part. So appreciate that very much. I'm going to tell you 99% of everybody that was there was understanding and great with it. You always have a couple people that are bent. And I tried to explain to them, and I hope everybody now, as they wake up this morning, realize that the couple guys that were mad at me for calling it, and it was me. I made the final call. I told Nick put the post and get it done, and I still think it was 100% the best decision for everybody involved. Everything that's going on and what happened over there, and from that part, it's just we can't always win with Mother Nature, but we got to think about it. That's the only race all year long we got caught. So it's not too bad. We could have got caught a couple other times and stuff like that too with Mother Nature. So just glad it was a one-time deal there. But again, everybody that came in through the gate, we will be refunding your money. And everybody that paid a pit pass, we will not charge your card because we still have the Clover machine set in there that we have not hit the button to charge it. We will take and decline all that for you too from that part. So Delbert, 800 horsepower, brand new AF 11 International Combine. I only drive green stuff, Jeremy, so sorry. Kiss kidding. Anyway, Gilbert, when or has the Fair Board made a decision on your contract? Well, they have the contract in their hands. Kind of what I said in the drivers' meeting. We'll meet with them in October, and I can't remember the exact date in October we meet with the Fair Board. But they do have the contract in their hand. I did make a lot of alterations to the contract from last year. There is a 5-year deal on the plate. There's a few things changing with the pits. There's a few things changing with some of the gates. Some of the different things of the contract that we need to nail down a little bit more better. So we'll see how much negotiating we have or whatever as we get into the contract. I hope we can just have a nice, easy deal to sign this contract. We move on and we can get to growing this thing for the next 5 years and have a great time over there at Salt City Races. So everybody keep your fingers crossed, everything else like that. And if I think I'm right, I think we meet with the Fair Board. I believe it's October the 10th or 9th. Can't remember exactly the date. Was when the dates we'll be meeting with them to go through the contract and make any negotiations we have to, whatever. Like I said, I hope we roll through and everything goes just fine. So anyway, so if you got any questions about Salt City or what happened last night, I'd love to hear from you on that part. Or if you got comments about that too, just everybody know that I had a lot of people ask me how we were going to take care of that. And I'm not, a lot of racetracks would hold your money, hold your wristbands, do whatever. I'm not doing that. I'm going to refund your money. That is a blessing, everybody, of this cashless situation. Okay.
Yeah.
That's enough. I'm going to be honest with you. I never brought this up because I didn't want to talk about a rain out or whatever, but just think about this for a minute. If you paid by cash, it'd be hard for me to know whose cash it was or whatever, but this paying by card, guess what? I can refund your money back. Easy to you from that part. So again, just glad we had a great year. We got one more race. It's just a fun race to get the A-mods out there as an open show. We're going to have a B-mod open show and a stock car open show. And what's not determined yet on the deal is, and the stock car guys, if you haven't seen the addendum to the deal after we announced it Wednesday, we are now having a 360 cubic inch max motor size. That's one thing we left out.
What?
Yeah, we have to because
Okay.
we have to do it in the stock cars. Modifieds, you can bring whatever you want. I don't care how big. You want to put a 500 cubic inch in that baby, go.
Get it done.
But I don't think it's going to work very well if you try to do that, Josh. But there is
Yeah.
some stock cars out there that have some pretty big cubic inch motors, and that's just not fair to the guys that would have the 360s and stuff too to go race. So really, that's been out there already. The biggest thing is how many laps we're going to run. I talked to a lot of the stock car guys last night, and I talked to a lot of them this week about how many laps we should run the stock cars. And I'm getting anywhere from 15 to 20. Most of the guys say 25 is too much on a half mile, and I understand that. That's why I'm not up to speed on the stock cars and knowing exactly all their stuff is and everything else too. So it looks like we're probably going to run a 20 lap feature. Don't lock me in stone on this yet from that part. And there's all kinds of talks on the modifieds whether we want to do a 52 to 50 to 40 to 30 pit stop, all that kind of stuff in there on the modifieds. We haven't figured that out yet either. B mods, I'm sure we will hold you to 15 on that part with your motors and stuff that you have there too. So we'll Wednesday we will have that locked in tight because we're just right around the corner on how we're going to run it. But everything else is out there on the. If you want to go to Salt City Racing LLC racers and see the rules we posted out there for what we got there.
It'll
too.
definitely be here before you know it. I'll be
It's going to go fast.
Very interested in who is running like Hoosiers versus American Racing versus
Yeah, it will
that
be
kind of
interesting.
stuff.
It will
just
be.
to see what kind of mixture of things you get.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be fun. So anyway, stay tuned. Wednesday night at 6:00, we'll finalize everything with the races details on October the 5th. If you want to go look at the rules on Salt City Racing LLC that we put out there, that'd be great. Love to have you on those races on October the 5th. I know there's some other races running around. I had a great long conversation with Chris Sutton out at Hayes because he's running his big fall nationals, and him and I have agreed. He took the late models. We're both going to run stock cars, and we don't think there's a big enough spread on the stock car side there from that part. I'm not running any other classes. Him and I agreed on those classes that we would do each other to help each other from that part. So just trying to stay off of him and, talk to some guys that came over from 81 Speedway last night and some of the super stock guys. And, they've got a big super stock race at the same time too. So, I'm not going to run super stocks. I don't want to do that to 81 Speedway. That's not fair to anybody at all. I hope 81 Speedway has a great time with the super stocks. That's a fun class to have. And they got a big payout and stuff. So hopefully 81 Speedway has a great success with that on October the 5th too. And from that part. So we just all got to get have fun with racing and keep racing alive in this community where I don't care what series you're ranking, what division you're running, what class you're running, whatever. We got to promote our racing and keep racing alive around here and everything else too from that part. So
everything's kind of starting to wind down a little bit.
It is
for the
getting close.
season, and
it's getting close.
That itch isn't over yet, right?
No,
you
no,
just
it's not over.
keep wanting to scratch it as long as you possibly can.
No.
So.
Of course, Alan and Connor are over at the USRA Nationals at Lucas Oil, having fun over there. We've been keeping in touch with them, and again, the parts trailer we've having to make a trip every day to replenish that trailer. So I'm glad we're being able to take care of the USRA Nationals and at Wheatland, Missouri. They're having some fun races over there too. So exciting to see how everything turns out there tonight for their championships on the USRA Nationals. See who wins those races over there too. So fun, exciting, a lot of racing coming around. But you're all right, Josh. It's coming down to the end, and it's going to get close on a lot of stuff. A lot of points are tight and everything else too. So, and then of course the Mod Wars is running down in Texas. I can't remember exactly where they're at near Tanner, and some of the USMTS guys are running down there from that part too. So a lot of racing, a lot of stuff to go. There's still a lot of racing to go. It's just getting close to the end.
Yeah,
it's getting close to the
thinner
end.
and thinner out there for sure.
So anyway, next thing is to kind of tuck on a little bit too is our banquet will be November the 16th. At the 1861 Club in Hutchinson, there on the fairgrounds, brand new building there. Got a great relationship with those guys at the 1861 Club to do that. So it'll be fun and exciting there too. We will recognize every driver that raced at Salt City, and we're going to recognize a lot of stuff there too that night. So if you're a driver and you attended every one of our races, you'll get 2 free tickets to get in free, just so you know. But want to pack the house, want to have some fun with that. And Charlie Griffin is going to take care of the food and beverages for us. I got that all approved and done and ready to go. He called me on Thursday, and got that all approved and done and ready. So it should be fun November the 16th for our awards banquet for our very first one. And like I said, we didn't get a chance last night with a rain out to crown our champions, but we do know who our champions are. So congratulations to all those. I guess I should kind of maybe recognize those champions here real quick while we're sitting here, since they didn't get much recognition last night with the rain out and stuff too.
Sure. Yeah.
So let's see. Looks like Scott Miller from Hutch is going to be our champion in the IMCA stock car. Dylan Chambers came in second. William Nesser came in third. Mike Marion came in fourth. And Chris Griffin came in fifth. Modified is going to be Casey Joe first. Randy Wilson coming in second. Peyton Burkhart third. And, of course, Jake came in fourth. Jake had that first race. He missed a motor.
Yeah.
And Aaron Rail came in top 5. The sprint car, USR sprint cars, and Stephen Richardson. I got to know these guys. I pit with them there next to them at Dodge, and they become great acquaintances and stuff there too. So congratulations, Stephen. I went over and talked to him last night and said, "Come on, let's go, buddy." And he only had a 1-point lead going in, but
I was looking at all the points on really pretty much all of them. And
it's all tight.
If you go
back up there. Scott Miller had a pretty good lead of 23 points. Casey Joe had 6 points. Stephen Richardson then had a 1-point advantage over Ty Williams, and I know Ty was really wanting to race last night. John Freeman out of Salina, he's 2 points out. Taylor Vasquez was only 3 points out, and then Mike Martin's only 4 points out of the top 5. That's pretty tight, Williams. Cody Williams, I know you want to crown a champion of the hobby stock. We only run 1 race, so sorry, IMCA requires us to have 4 races from that part. And then, of course, in the sport mods, Justin Lampe came in first, 11 points back, Jimmy Brozak, and third, Kyle Weens. And fourth is Dalton Bell, and then Alex Weens. So the Weens brothers came in the top 5, both of them. So congratulations to those guys, too. So there's our top 5 champions coming through. We'll be recognizing a lot more drivers as we go in there on November the 16th from that part. So anyway, everybody, and chat line coming up here. Yeah, Jeremy says that tractor's got an auto steer on it.
I'm sure it does.
Got a 22 F450 that just quit running and won't start and turns over with no start. Well, I don't know. Hate to tell you, need a little more information on that one, Jeremy, how we're going to fix that 450, because there's a lot of things could be causing that situation too. So anyway, hey, 316-462-3673. Hey, anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, you want to talk about anything in the automobile world or racing world or whatever, love to hear from you. 316-462-3673, and we'll get you that great price package for each and every caller for calling in from that part. So I don't know what else we've left out on the racing deal last night. That's why I told you, Josh, to time in Salt City so everybody would know. And so let's do a quick recap. Yeah, we got rained out by Mother Nature, first one all year. If you're just tuning in, and everybody that came through the gate, we will be refunding your money. And everybody that came in about a pit pass, we're refunding your money. So those few little people that have a little negative thing about me being cashless, this is so easy now to be able to send your money back to you and not hang on to it. Racers, a lot of you asked if you're going to hang on the armbands and use them again October the 5th. No, I'm going to refund everything, and we're going to start over. So everything's clean slate, everything else too. So there's no, hey, I paid, I didn't pay, he paid, back and forth. So this cashless thing has turned into be a very positive in this certain race. So everybody knows we'll be getting that money back to you sometime Monday, or you won't even probably ever see the charge on your card for doing that for us too. So everybody, thank you again for the great year at Salt City Racing. We got one more fun race. It's not a points race, October the 5th. And other than that, that'll be. I can't believe it seemed like we just started the season. And
do you remember what all classes are going to be in that
on October the 5th?
Yeah,
we're going to run an open mod show.
Okay.
And very few rules. And of course, the rules are all posted on Salt City Racing LLC. We're going to run a stock cars, and we're going to run B mods and open B mods. And a lot of questions on the, again, the B mods. If you look at the rules, very simple, very easy. Not going to get too particular on tech. There's the rules we have out there is what we're going to tech. That's it.
Gotcha.
In fact, there's only 4 or 5 rules of each class, or 6 to them. I don't know, not very many to clarify and classify how we're going to run those races on October the 5th. So it's another way of getting that. This way, when we get done, we basically have got every class that has wanted to race at Salt City a chance to race.
To get on the track. Yeah.
Get on the track. So we'll have fun with that on October the 5th. And again, Hayes is running. I worked very well with Chris Sutton on how we're going to run that. I would love to have had the late models on Salt City on October the 5th, but he wants them. He had set that up early in the year, so he's taken the late models, and we're both going to run stocks. And we both agree that there's enough stock cars that both of us can have fun with stock cars.
Yeah,
on that situation. So he's running IMCA A mod, so no crossover there. Of course, there might be a few guys that want to stay, kind of like Team 3J. We're going to stay and race at Salt City.
Are you?
Yes, we are.
Yeah. So what? And kind of maybe putting you on the spot, and maybe should have Nick here for this conversation too, but from the first race to the last race, like, what do you think the biggest improvement was
Oh, by
over
far the
there?
track.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, we got dealt a track that was so, when a track's, I don't care, everybody can say what they want. You take a track to run once a year, it's so hard to maintain that
yeah.
and very difficult and everything else too. But I think the racing surfaces, I brought in Mike Manginron out of Iowa, and he worked for 3 days, 12 hours a day, reshaping the track, redoing what he needed to do, and then learning how to attack that sandy
The
silt,
soil, yeah, or the dirt.
and
Yep.
it's silt, as I would call it. I think that's probably our biggest improvement for the racers. The only time we burnt tires up is when we had the Silver Crown guys there, and I know what Tommy Estes was trying to do on that Friday night. He wanted to see what the track would do dry and all that kind of stuff. And our 3 features we had Friday night was we burned up some tires because it was very dry slick. It wasn't rubber down or anything else like that. It was just dry slick. We begged Tommy to put water on it, and I know what he was doing. He was just trying to prep himself and know how to keep that track alive for Saturday night. And did we have a great track Saturday night? We had a fabulous track Saturday night. So I think that's our biggest improvement, Josh, is just a racing surface for the racers. That one night's the only night we burn up tires, and it's been a great show on that part for the racers. I mean, I was at every heat race, every feature race down there to look at the tires, look at the stuff, because that's one thing I was concerned about.
Yeah.
And guess what? That's the only night we burn any tires up. So that's my thing is I think it's there. The crowds and everything that we had, I think was fantastic. Do I want to build on the crowds and everything else like that too? Yeah. I think some of the racers too was really waiting to see how we perform.
Standoffish a little bit,
Yeah.
or wanted to get it,
And I
let
get
you
that.
get a couple races in first
Yeah.
to decide how it's going to flow and stuff like that. I mean, you've been to certain spots or places, and even I think drag racing kind of has a black eye for that too. But you start and then they just run and go and go and go, and if it's not a planned show and you don't intentionally make things happen every second throughout the show, like, it can definitely drag on for a long length of time, right?
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you that's one thing. Kyler Fetters, him and I and Nick have worked so well together, putting things together. And we've only had one show that went a little bit late and it was beyond our control. That's when my good buddy Robert Calhoun took a little spell there and we had to have a time delay on that. If it wasn't for that, we were out of there every night no later than 10:30. And I think the crowd loves that. I think that's the way it needs to be. So Kyler Fetters, hats off to you, buddy, for how well you did with running that show. Everybody knows I don't run around with a headset on. I'm not making calls with it. It's Kyler's show. Kyler makes all those decisions. A lot of people come up to me wanting to make decisions, but I did make the decision last night to kill a race. I did do that. That was my call. But other than that, during the race, I do not wear a headset. I'm not going to wear a headset. I'm not making calls. That's why I hired Kyler to do the job. And Nick and I are back there taking care of other business that we need to take care of and let Kyler run the show. But I will tell you, Kyler has done a fantastic job of running that racetrack, making things efficient going. And then that crew that he brings from Dodge City, man, oh man, are those guys top notch and great to work with. The track prep guys that he brings over, those 3 guys are fantastic. Can't get enough of those guys. The safety crew he brings over, I talked to those guys again last night. They were pumped and excited to be there. And, it's just fun when you see that kind of excitement. One of the paramedics, I didn't know that, was from Burton, but now he lives in Dodge City.
Yeah.
So small town right next to Halstead with me. And I think I'm a little older than he is, though. But but like he said, I'm excited to be here in Hutchin. Excited to do that. So just excited for where we're going to go.
And it's just one of those things that when everybody shows up, you got to be turned on, right? Because if not, then this leads to that, and it drags out here and drags out there, and 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there, and then before you know it, it's midnight. And I think everybody's done a fantastic job of keeping it on point and keeping things rolling.
I do think that's exactly
especially for the first year out of the gate.
Oh yeah, because I'm gonna tell you how nervous I was many times, especially that first couple of shows and the night of the week of the Silver Crown race. How I bet I slept maybe an hour and a half a night just worried about how things were going to go, and that race couldn't have turned out any better.
Yeah,
the only thing could have been better is that Friday night we could have pad the track a little bit better for those 3 features, and I apologize to those guys for that. But again, I know what Tommy Estes was doing. He wanted to see what that track would do. So if he had to be dealt that kind of a track, he'd be able to tell those racers that part. But again, I think that racetrack after Saturday night, if the Silver Crown cars there, they could have won another 50. Easy. The track prep we had and stuff too. So we've made so much headway on the track prep
Well, and you can even talk about the track prep from the side of things, like I don't know, I'm not very experienced in it, but also, I mean, the uh, weather conditions play such a vital part in that. You go out the day of and you dump a bunch of water on the thing, and then it cools off and the wind dies down and you get overcast or something like that, versus windy and a lot of sunshine on it, beating down on it, that evening. And it's two totally different environments, right? And it makes so much difference on, but yet you have hours of prep leading up to it that you don't know.
And exactly right, Josh. It's a science. It's an act. It's a gamble. As we first started the season out, we were dumping water on Sundays.
Yeah.
And I think it did take that much to start getting a base down into that racetrack from that part. And then we kind of backed it off to Monday nights. And then with the fair just ending and stuff like that too, we had to work well with the fair on that side of the not being able to get on that racetrack until Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And then it rained for us Wednesday. So that was a blessing too, to help us on Wednesday. And then Friday we had a little issues with some water trucks and stuff, but it still worked out okay. But it is the knack to how much water to put on, when to, all that kind of stuff and everything. But I'm telling you, those three guys that Kyler has, that he brings from Dodge City, to be dealt what they were dealt and perform the way those guys perform and give us a racetrack, great. And for us to have just that one feature set up when the Silver Crown cars were on that Friday night, to not have a very good racetrack, I think we had a success there. We do have some plans. We get this contract signed. Been talking to Mike Van Genderen again. He was up at Boone with us, and I spent a little time with him over there talking about what to do in the offseason, what we're going to do moving forward. Also, the Murphy Tractor guys, they're very interested in doing some stuff with the racetrack for what we need to do to try to help moving forward. But I think that's, like you said, Josh, what's the biggest improvement? I think it's the racetrack. I think the racetrack that we've done from that part to make that track better, to make it hold. And just wish we could have raced last night and raced for those champions. But you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is, too. So
been on both sides of that shoe now, for sure. So,
yeah. So anyway, moving forward, like I said, first week in October, we meet with the fair. We'll get this contract signed and move forward, and then we can really kick off. And Katie bar the door. I mean, Nick and Kyler and I have got some great ideas what we want to do moving forward for years forward. We'll tell you that we have talked to a lot of sanctioning bodies out there, too, that have called us wanting to come race the half mile. From that part, and everybody's questioning 3/8 to half mile. Let's talk about that in a minute. I will tell you that for 2025, it will stay a half mile. I am not going to change the racetrack for 2025. Not saying going forward it's not going to change. I'm just telling you right now, for 2025, it will stay a half mile. I'm not changing it. Biggest reason is the Silver Crown cars have committed to come back, and they will not race on a 3/8 mile track. It's a half mile or bigger.
Oh, really?
Is all they race on. So it will stay a half mile for 2025. And racers, I'm telling you, a lot of guys come up to me talking about the 3/8 versus half. I mean, there's a lot of people that want it. It's kind of I'm going to tell you right now, it's about a 50-50 deal to leave it 3/8 versus leaving it half mile. So from that part, we'll see how we progress with 2025 and see what we do there too, guys, and just see kind of where we progress and how we move. But my heart, I'm going to tell you, racers, I would love just to keep it a half mile. I mean, that's where my heart's at and everything else too. But again, if it's going to help and bring more fun, exciting things to us, great. But I don't want to lose that Silver Crown car race for 2025. I want to keep that. It was a fun time. I think we can build on that. We're trying to talk to USAC about some other their cars to bring here. Already been talking to them about that. And again, some other sanction bodies that have called us and talked and said, hey, we want to get on your schedule, want to get there. And the fair has posted a few dates that I have given them that I'd like to race. And those dates are not locked in, but those dates are on the table for 2025. And then we'll put the classes together and all that stuff and build on that from that part too.
So going back to half mile, what is and again, maybe kind of putting you on the spot here on this too, but half mile, what's the largest event or show on a half mile track out there? So like Boone, the Nationals, Chili Bowl, definitely on a smaller size track. But just a half mile track in general, what's a very large show?
Oh yeah, I'd have to go back and look at what Silver Crown cars do on the half mile and see what kind of the bigger shows are from that part. I really, you did put me on the spot.
Or how many half mile tracks are there, out there versus 3/8 versus?
I think I'm going to tell you just not any stats or anything out there. 3/8 is the more common,
obviously
common track. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt about that.
I tell you, that the Boone when I went up there, I just couldn't believe the layout of the track and how they were able to farm that thing. And I don't know. It's just, and I don't, that thing has had to have been in operation for many years, and those guys have worked together for many years in order to be just that efficient on it. I mean, it was crazy.
Every track promoter in this country needs to go to the Boone Super Nationals just at least one day to watch that run.
Yeah.
Watch that go, and watch how well that operates up there. It blows me away. They ran, Saturday to Saturday, ran 500. I think it's 560 races on that racetrack. There was a couple times that racetrack was a little bit off, but not very often was that racetrack off. And the way they can go out and farm that thing so quick, so fast. Granted, they got a lot of equipment. I get that too.
Yeah.
But every promoter in the country needs to go watch the Boone Super Nationals run and watch how that gets run and done with that many cars, that many races every stinking day. It'll blow you away. Because it blows me away each time. I've been there 3 times now, and it blows me away each time I've been there. And Josh, I know it was your first time to kind of be there to watch that go down. And look what you're saying, just by an innocent bystander outside watching it.
And just for us, from a spectator standpoint too, I mean, it's just impressive. It really is. So
it is. So but I still think the 3/8 is the most popular track. But again,
from a racer standpoint, would you rather race on a 3/8 or a half mile? I mean, and I think that depends on too, like, okay, is it open motor? What are the rules?
There's a lot
that probably plays a huge effect into the decision on that as well.
Yeah. And I think a lot of racers, worry about how hard the half mile is on the motors compared to a 3/8. And I get that. I think if you gear your cars correctly and that sort of thing, to where what happens on the smaller motors or the motors that aren't, the open big motors, they need to breathe a little more. I mean, breathe about, they got to get off the gas. If you're on the gas the whole time and just wide open, the motor can't relax. It can't breathe. And that's when it's really hard. Well, so those long straightaways you're on the gas, a couple seconds longer than you normally would be. And when you go in the corner to let off the gas, if you're right back in it again and back on a big old long straightaway, that is hard on motors. I get it. I think we have to gear them right. And I think a lot of Hutch is not just gearing, but it's tire management. It's how you enter the corner, how how your car is set up to be able to power through the corner and that sort of thing, and then be able to get on that long straightaway and come through there. But
to me, I don't know, the extra distance, extra time, like that's all shows in a driver, right? What and all those things you listed, but just in perfection of driving it. If it's shorter, it's enclosed. I don't know. You have more time to make up or either lose, one or the other.
Yeah, it's like the late models. That's why I kind of wanted them back again. But I appreciate what Chris is doing out there at Hayes, and those cars have some bigger motors and stuff, and they can live on that half mile. And I'm Josh, you brought it up earlier. What I thought was, the track conditions. One they didn't bring up is we had a lot of side by side racing. The track used to be years ago. It was a 1-lane dude on the feature night, and there's no passing, no nothing. But we had a lot of passing. I still remember the very first night we had the sprint cars there, and Jeremy Campbell was coming down the back straightaway, and I knew he was going high, and I'm thinking, oh God, please, Jeremy, hang on to that thing, hold it, keep it dead. And he did. He hung on, thrown around the outside and passed the guy on the outside.
On the outside.
I'd like to know the last time that happened on the half mile. But so I think that's the other thing we did. We actually made some improvements to give it some double wides and stuff like that too. Just a lot. There's a lot of things kept improving each race as we went through there and stuff too, that I think is going to be much more fun for 2025. And just, like last night after we canceled the race and the racers coming up and talking to me and stuff like that, it's just fun for the excitement that they have and they're ready to go, and the positivity we have over there. Just can't wait to get this big contract and then look out, Katie bar the door for what we're going to go do and make stuff happen too from that part for the next 5 years from that standpoint. But what we have on our plate, what Nick and Kyler and I have put down on paper, what we want to do, who we want to race, who we want to do, some ideas we have. And I would tell you, it's not all car racing too. Some of the things we have on our plate too.
Yeah.
So just so you know, there's other things we have and we know. I mean, I'll bring it up. Demo Derby. Look what the Demo Derby did at the fair. I think it was the biggest attendance of anything at the fair on this grandstands was the Demo Derby. So probably got a Demo Derby up our sleeve too. Okay. From that part, we talked just about some monster trucks. We've talked about that. We talked about the flat track motorcycles. Josh, I heard you raced on flat tracks at one time. Is that right? Those guys got to have some big, you know what?
Yeah, that's I don't know that. Again, it's just like everything else. Like, I suppose, you got into it and got hooked on it, and I don't need brakes. I don't need any of that stuff. Let's go. Right. So
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, anyway, this is supposed to be a call-in show for Under the Hood. What's wrong with your car? A in your car and get a great price package. But I knew we needed to turn on Salt City
yeah.
also because of what happened last night and to clarify everything that's happened again. Again, if you're just tuning in, Racers fans, everybody, we will be refunding your money for your pit passes and also your grandstand entrances. And for those of you that understand now my cashless thing, how easy this is now to give back your money and not have a situation with that. Very easy to do this and keep track of it. I had a couple racers come up and ask me, hey, can we keep these armbands for October the 5th? I said, no, we're going to refund it. So it's clean slate, no issues. Hey, I paid, I didn't pay, whatever. And we'll get those charges. I think I think you'll see it pending on your card and you just won't ever see it get charged to your card is how it will come out when we actually when we go on My Race Pass and kill it there. And then when we go to the Clover machines that we use in the pits, we just won't end up sending those through to charge your card from that part. So make it very simple, very easy for everybody there too. So sorry about last night. Can't control Mother Nature, but I know we made the right call, Josh.
Yep.
There's no doubt we made the right call. There at the end, after I called it, and then it kind of got clear sky. I thought, oh no, maybe we didn't. Started questioning my decision, but then 20 minutes later, here come more rain, and it was definitely over from that part too. So anyway, everybody, thanks for the great time at Salt City. We'll crown our champions November the 16th. The 1861 Club can be excited to have that function there. Charlie Griffin and his crew is going to cater it and take care of all of our beverages for us.
And that's right there on the fairgrounds.
Right there on the fairgrounds. Yeah. So kind of what we're tending to do is open the doors at 6, have some dinner at 7, have awards at 7:30. And we're going to recognize every driver that participated, and then we'll recognize some of the other drivers with some awards and stuff like that too. So it'll be fun in the time don't want to miss that too. So anyway, Josh, I know it's kind of a short show, everything else like that, but I really wanted to concentrate on Salt City so we could clarify all the air and everything out there for that part. So everybody, a lot of questions coming through on Facebook this morning about refunds and all that kind of stuff too. So I thought this would be the best place to put it to let everybody know how we're going to do it and send the money back to you, or not even take your money, I guess is how you want to say it from that part. So anyway, everybody, looks like the chat line is kind of coming through here a little bit. So we got everything kind of answered there. Yeah, Jeremy Kane, love to help you on your car, but on your F450, but kind of a little tough when it's that far away from us. Let's get it on trailer and get it up there. I know we can fix it from that part. Delbert, I got your message. We'll get that taken care of. Rick Strigger, how you doing, buddy? Glad you tuned in again this morning.
If you have his contact, or if he wants to message you or something, I'll call him after the show and see what kind of what he has going on.
Yeah, Jeremy, I don't know if I have your number. Josh will call you after the show. Text me or message me your phone number, and I'll get Josh to call you. We can talk about that 450, what's going on.
See if I can point him in the right direction or whatever.
Get something going there for you, okay? So anyway, everybody, we're going to tune it out for a Saturday morning. We've covered everything. The chat lines went through. No one's called in to talk about A in their cars. I know everybody wants to talk about Salt City for that part too. So everybody, again, sorry about last night. It's been a great time with Salt City Racing. We got one more race October the 5th. You don't want to miss it. Let's fill these fans on October the 5th. When I roll in on the 7th, 8th, or 9th, whatever date that is, this contract's an easy thing to sign and get taken care of with the fair board. And we can roll on for 5 more years for sure and make this a great success over there at Salt City Racing at the Kansas State Fairgrounds. So everybody, have a great Saturday. Stay safe, stay dry. It looks like, I don't know if it's going to rain some more, Josh.
Yeah, I think a little bit.
Going to rain some more. So hopefully 81 Speedway. I know I think they've got a race tonight too. No, the USRA Nationals are racing up there. So yeah, USRA Nationals, hope they can get that. They're racing over there at Wheatland, and also the Model Wars is down there in Texas. A lot of our guys are down there too. 2 different places to race. So everybody, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the support at Salt City Racing. It's been a fantastic year. Just got one more to go. I can't believe it. One more.
It's crazy,
isn't it? Everybody have a great Saturday. We'll talk to you next. We're going to talk to you Wednesday night, 6 o'clock with the final award, final, God damn it, laps and all the rules we're going to do on the
gotcha. Okay.
Laps. That's the only thing we got left really is the laps from that part. So we'll get the laps counted. So tune in Wednesday at 6 o'clock for the latest updates there. And we'll talk to you under hood next Saturday at 9 o'clock as always. Everybody have a great Saturday, and we'll talk to you Wednesday night at 6 o'clock.